welcome everyone. I am your host Fahad Chatari for the day. Welcome to our very special Oscars episode. As many of you know, the Oscars are going to be this Sunday, so look out for that. But this episode is going to be who we think should win these nominations and who we believe is going to ultimately win, because a lot of these nominees and winnings are already locked in because they won the BAFTA, the Golden Globes, the SAG, the Screen Actors Guild Award, British Awards, British Oscars. So a lot of these are kind of like not many like guesses anymore. There could be some shocks. I won't say for sure they're locked. There could be some like huge like surprises still. But what we're gonna do is first I'm gonna give you the list and who is locked in to win, and then I'm gonna go first and then tell you guys who I think should win. Now, it could be what the list says of who's going to win, or it could be something different. And then Shannon and George are also here with me, and they're going to be doing who they think, which each category, who they think they should win. So it's going to be really fun. You guys can go back and watch this after the Oscars are over, and we're probably going to watch it too to see if we got any of these right, or if any of our favorites won. So it's going to be a cool experience. This is our first time doing it, so just join us and welcome.
Yeah,
So
and comment down below who you think is going to win, who you think should win for every category as we go through. We want to hear your thoughts as well.
oh yeah, for sure. And and are you guys excited for the Oscars? Do you think there's a good list of cool nominees and things that you're excited?
Great year for movies.
Yes.
2019 was awesome.
2019 was now officially nominated as the best year for movies, actually, because so many good movies came out. A lot of movies couldn't even make it onto the Oscars list because they were just
There was
so
a
good.
lot of good movies.
Oh yeah, and a lot of surprises too. Like
Yeah.
I was really shocked by Little Women, and
Oh yeah, definitely.
came out of nowhere. Didn't see any previews, just heard about it.
Jojo
Wa-
Rabbit was a
Jojo
little
Rabbit,
weird indie film. It
yeah.
was the best one of the year, and
Joker did the same thing. It surprised everyone. Not my favorite movie, but
Once Upon a Time was out of nowhere.
No, it wasn't.
No, I didn't hear about
was.
it until we went to the theater.
Oh really? Oh, I love Quentin Tarantino. I've been watching every trailer
yeah,
and making.
he's really good.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It was just a surprise to you. But yeah, we got a lot of options. I'm gonna kick us off with. So the first option, like I said, is gonna be who's locked in to win, and then I'm gonna tell you if I agree with that or if I have another person for it, and then George and Shannon are gonna talk to us about who they think who should win from their point of view and their opinion. So here we go. Okay, so first on the list is Best Animated Feature. And the nominations for Best Animated Feature are How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, so that's the third one. I Lost My Body, I haven't seen that. Claws, I love Claws, it was so good. It was on Netflix, original. Missing Link, I just rented it and I haven't seen it. And Toy Story 4. So who will win? Toy Story 4 is pretty much locked in to win this year. No surprise there. They've won every year that a Toy Story movie has come out. But I don't agree with this list. I don't think Toy Story 4 was all that good. I think the first three were way better. I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really liked the movie.
Yeah.
But for me, I would choose Claws. Claws was 2D animation with 3D animation. Never been done before. If you haven't seen it, it's a Netflix original that was also released in theaters. And it's just so beautiful, great story, great acting, like pulls at your heart. Like the emotions you felt in Toy Story 3 are the emotions I felt in Claws. Like really drew me in, and I really just love the story. I can't get enough of that movie. I think Claws should win. I also think another movie that didn't get nominated this year that I personally really loved was Abominable. It was kind of out of nowhere, really good like message, great characters, really funny, emotional moments were strong between these kids and this abominable monster. So yeah, that's just who I would personally choose if I could say who would win. What about you guys?
I absolutely loved that movie.
Which one?
Wait, which one was that? No, not Abominable. No, I was thinking of.
Yeah, you were thinking of the Chinese one.
No.
Claws?
No, there was another
Missing
movie
Link.
that
Bigfoot, Littlefoot.
Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I
Littlefoot.
think.
Oh, it was I don't think I've heard of it.
Oh, really? That one was really, I
were
thought,
all-
quite phenomenal.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
Who do you think
It
you'd
was-
want to win on the list though?
well, for me, I think Toy Story 4 actually.
Oh, really?
Or not, yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
At least out of the list of the ones on there.
That's
Now,
the
granted,
one.
I haven't seen Claus, so I can't make an argument for it. But
Yeah. No, I hear ya. Yeah.
Well, I think Toy Story 4 will win. Claus probably deserves awards. I have not seen it, but I'm just guessing that Claus probably, once I see it, will deserve the awards based on how Fahad's talking about it.
Yeah. And I think this was a really strong year. I think Frozen 2 could have easily made this list as well. And
Yeah,
then get
it's a little odd that Frozen 2 is not on here.
Right.
I mean, I didn't even see half of these
they
movies or
forget it
even
was
hear
animated?
of them.
I think so. I think they did. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they did, but you never really know. So yeah, I think, yeah, I do believe that for me, this list could have been longer. I can think of 3-4 movies that I saw this year that could have been nominated.
Abominable was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Frozen 2 was great.
Now, actually, that brings up a good question. In a movie like The Lion King, would that actually be considered an animated film? It's technically-
Yes, it is technically.
It's
animated,
technically,
even though
but
they
even though
called
it's
it-
live action.
We're gonna have to
Yeah.
come up with a new category.
Yeah.
CGI only films or something.
Yeah, no, I do believe that there should be 2D animation lists now that with a lot of 2D animations being made in like something 3D like Lion King. People say visual effects and it's live action, but it's animation. It's just very realistic animation,
Extremely.
but it's animation nonetheless. So for me, I would put that over, like putting, what is Lion King's nominated for? I can't remember right now.
Visual effects.
Is it just
I
visual
believe.
effects? So
Yeah,
it didn't even get nominated for
it should win for visual effects for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was the only one I believe it was nominated for.
Okay, cool. We are now doing the Best Actress nomination. So Shannon, who is nominated for Best Actress this year?
Well, we have Cynthia Erivo as Harriet.
Oh, Harriet Tubman.
Yep. We have Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story. Saoirse Ronan in Little Women.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Charlize Theron in Bombshell.
Mm.
And Renee Zellweger in Judy.
Thank you so much. And so the locked in is, I called it the moment we saw it.
You did. You called it.
I was like, this is gonna be like a locked in. It's gonna be Judy for Renee Zellweger.
Yeah.
She stole the
Called
show.
it.
Nobody's besides. Well, yeah, she's going to win, and I would say I agree with that she should win.
She became that character.
Yeah, and if I had to say if it is not Renee, I would go with Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story or Saoirse Ronan in Little Women. As you
Yeah.
guys know, I love Little Women,
It was
so that's gonna be easy. But yeah, I think the edge is Renee Zellweger for becoming Judy Garland and making you forget that's even Renee's. I forgot that was Renee Zellweger while I was watching it.
Oh yeah, you definitely forget.
Yeah. So what about you guys? Who do you got for Best Actress?
Shannon, you wanna go first?
Well, personally, I would go with Saoirse Ronan for Little Women, because I'm saving Scarlett Johansson for supporting actress for spoilers for Jojo Rabbit. But I really anyone on this list could win, and I'd be happy about it. So it's a really tight choice, but Saoirse Ronan blew me away with Little Women. I loved that movie. It made me actually go back and watch Lady Bird and see it in a whole new light after I saw.
Same writer and director
Yep,
of Lady Bird.
Exactly, and I didn't get Lady Bird the first time I saw it. Went back and watched it again after seeing Little Women, and now I get it, and I think it was a great movie. So, yeah, Saoirse blew me away.
What about you?
For
George?
me, Renee Zellweger, because honestly, yeah, that was amazing. Amazing performance, and she really just embodied Judy Garland.
She did a great job.
I'm glad we were able to see it. I know it was a small theater and it was
Yeah.
hard to find, but
Yeah.
it was definitely a very much a character study movie, and
Oh yeah.
I was very appreciative of that because besides knowing that Judy Garland was this famous kid actress, I didn't know all of the things that happened to her with drugs and how Hollywood treated her and all the other things she went through with divorce and her kids and stuff. And I'm glad I saw it. Like, I really did appreciate what they did with that.
And it's
movie.
what like all the Hollywood actor kids go through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you,
today
if you
even.
watch
Unique
Honey
story.
Boy.
Yeah,
Honey Boy,
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another person that should have been nominated because the year is so good.
Shia LaBeouf should have gotten nominated for Peanut Butter Falcon.
I would say Honey Boy, where he's playing his dad.
Yeah,
But I haven't
that
seen
was
Peanut Butter Falcon,
fantastic
so
too.
I can't say.
I loved Honey Boy.
Nice. Okay, so our next list is Best Actor, and the nominations are Antonio Banderas. How do you say it?
Antonio
Banderas.
Banderas.
Okay.
Well,
Pain and Glory. I haven't seen it. Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Adam Driver for Marriage Story. Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. Jonathan Pierce for Two Popes, which I just recently saw. I never did a review of it, but wow, is that movie? It's just two guys talking for 2 hours, and I could
it's
not
so
look away.
interesting.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Same
interesting.
with Marriage Story, yeah.
I was like blown away. Like I mean, I knew the Catholic Church is important to like Christianity and what the Vatican politics do and how crazy it gets if a pope passes away. And I saw all the CNN footage of them trying to vote for the next pope after Pope John Paul died. By the way, favorite pope in history is Pope John Paul. The guy was
amazing.
seriously a saint. He got
Yeah.
shot in the face by a terrorist and then
Really?
went to jail and forgave them and tell them to release him. And then the guy who was a terrorist became Christian Catholic.
What?
And
Yeah.
it was
Oh, you're
that
kidding.
is the image of Christ,
is.
if I ever
That's-
seen one.
I didn't know that story. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to finish watching the rest of it.
I don't think Pope John Paul is in Two Popes.
No,
but-
he's not. He's
Oh.
not. But there is a movie with Pope John Paul.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think it had a famous actor playing him.
Oh,
But
really?
I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, Jonathan Pryce, not Anthony Hopkins, the Pope that wanted to retire in the movie. Jonathan Pryce. Oh my gosh, he was good in Game of Thrones and other things I've seen him in, but he really.
He really played Pope Francis.
Yeah, they
Like,
showed a video
amazing.
of the guy like sitting and talking and mannerisms, and then they
Yeah.
showed Jonathan's. It's
I know he looks just like him.
not
Yeah.
just look, but the way he moved
And
his
acts
body
and
and how his
talks
posture and oh my god, like
it's-
he
he did an amazing job. I seriously
this is
thought
a
I was
crazy
watching
good
this.
list. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But anyways, enough about that. I think who's gonna win is it's pretty much locked at this point. Joaquin Phoenix is gonna win
Yeah.
for Joker, but I personally think if I chose, I would say Adam Driver for Marriage Story.
Yeah,
That guy,
I
like
agree.
you said, Scarlett Johansson for you.
Oh yeah.
Adam Driver was just another level when he became like this man who was losing his family and trying to go through all these things and fighting for his son and you know the great amazing scene where they just finally have this giant fight
That
in the
was so
apartment
good.
and it was like it didn't even feel like they were acting anymore. It really felt like they were just married.
Yeah.
They were going through a divorce and it was coming to the end and it's coming into blows and it's a movie that sticks with you and they really should call it a divorce story and not a marriage story.
That's
but,
true.
you know, but yeah, no, I love Adam Driver. The guy's literally saved Star Wars in my opinion. The guy has been like 10 out of like Ray is good, but I think Adam Driver was like the thing that kept me fascinated about the Disney sequels as Kylo Ren. So for me, Adam Driver, but Joaquin Phoenix is probably gonna win. What about you guys?
Joaquin Phoenix for me.
Oh really?
Yeah, because well, he did something that previously has only been basically done by Heath Ledger, and really trying to embody the Joker and just how crazy he is. And to be perfectly honest, I mean, like that takes away from you. like when you try to become someone like that, he definitely took it beyond just acting when he took the role of Joker. And that's why I seriously don't think they should have him for that role anymore.
Yeah.
Just because that's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong.
It's psychologically dangerous.
Right.
So yeah, I have to admit though he did a fantastic job, and yeah, so that's why.
Yeah. What about you, Shannon? Who do you got for Best Actor?
Man, I wouldn't mind seeing Leonardo DiCaprio win another Oscar because he deserves it. And I thought he was great in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But yeah, I mean, Adam Driver was amazing in Marriage Story and Star Wars, so I could go either way with that one.
Okay. But so Joaquin Phoenix, what are your thoughts on it winning?
I didn't enjoy the Joker as much as you guys did. I respect it, but I did not enjoy it
No, I agree with
watching
that.
it.
I will never watch that movie again.
No,
It was not enjoyable.
a pleasant
Let's put that.
experience, but
That's
I
what-
respect it for what
Yeah.
it did.
I'm ready for a Gotham like Batman story outside of like fun, like Birds of Prey is supposed to be.
Yeah, so I want a fun
I'm-
one.
Yeah, so I'm really
Oh, yeah.
excited for Birds of Prey right now because the Joker was just, it's not a letdown, but it was a letdown. Like it would really, I mean, I get it. Like it's very dramatic. They don't use the origins of Joker. It's just whatever they wanted to make, which is even worse in my opinion.
Yeah, the Joker's supposed to be over the top and
Yeah.
funny and crazy, and
And I think
wasn't.
Heath Ledger winning for The Dark Knight was perfect. Like I don't need another Joker to win. I think Heath Ledger nailed that character so well. I mean, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is definitely playing a very different Joker, but at the same time, like he's not better than Heath Ledger's Joker. Heath Ledger was
No.
game changing,
Yeah.
amazing, like Joker. It is still, in my opinion, the best Joker. I would even
Sure.
Joaquin Phoenix was good. It's not even in my top 3 though. I would put Jack Nicholson next and then Jared Leto from Suicide Squad. Oh no, sorry.
Oh,
I would put
wow.
Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, as the voice of Joker in the 90s animated movie The Batman series.
Oh, yeah.
That's who
definitely.
I would put as number 3.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then Jared Leto and then Joaquin Phoenix because they're not, Joaquin Phoenix is not playing the Joker. I don't care what you call it. I don't care what you're trying to show me.
No.
He's not the Joker from the comics. He's not bipolar. He's not mentally he's not mentally sick. He's not mentally ill. He's a psychopath.
kind of.
Well, that's mentally sick and ill.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's not imagining things. He's just a
He was.
He was
psychopath.
in the movie.
He was though. He actually was.
Imagine that whole
He
girl.
imagined the girl. He imagined
No.
multiple other
That's
scenes.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying the Joker in the comics is not mentally ill.
In the
Oh.
comics.
He's
Okay.
just a villain who's really
Okay.
smart and crazy psychopath. He's not.
Okay.
He doesn't have a
that
mental.
makes sense.
He's completely there.
Yeah.
His choices are just insanity.
Right.
You know, like you know, like when Christopher Nolan said when they were making the Joker, it's about a guy who was a secret agent in the CIA who learned of like just went crazy because of the things he saw in the Middle East.
Oh.
And then came back and became a terrorist himself because he just learned too much about the American government and learned too much about what we've been doing and what the terrorists are doing, and he just wanted to burn the entire government down. That's more what I would want as a Joker. I want somebody who is smart, intelligent, and can go toe to toe. He can't fight. The Joker can't fight Batman because Batman will whoop him, but he can go toe to toe with his mind and
Yeah,
get at
and
Batman.
this guy couldn't. In
No.
this movie. No.
Like this guy has no way, shape, or form where I mean, like if he's imagining other people, how is he gonna fight Batman?
Yeah. Right.
There's so many issues with this movie. I don't think this movie should have even been called The Joker. It should have just been called The Max Menace or The Clown or something. You know, something very different.
Yeah.
Because it really isn't using the comic character. It's not accurately portraying.
Mental illness, the movie.
Yes, well, that's kind of not that.
Social
Well,
commentary.
Like the clown who went bananas. I don't know. Like something that was, you could make it kind of like loosely based off the comics and do something completely different, but don't call him the Joker. You know, I liked what the director said. He said, you know, this isn't the Joker we're using. This is somebody who gives birth to the real Joker. I like that.
Yeah.
But then don't call this the Joker. Call it like a
Yeah.
prequel to the Joker where this is his dad who's crazy and the son is watching him and then he grows up to become the Joker because his dad was mentally ill.
Okay.
And he was like, you could have gone so many different ways. But anyways, I'm going off topic. Okay. So the next one is we have Best Supporting Actress. So the nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Kathy Bates, Laura Dern. Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, Laura Dern for Marriage Story. Great performance. Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit. Oh my gosh. Florence Pugh for Little Women. Yes. Margaret Robbie for Bombshell. No. I love Margaret Robbie, but I have no idea why she's there. She didn't even. Why is she?
She was barely in that.
Yeah,
movie.
like, she's
she
barely-
was great in that movie, but she was She wasn't
She
even
was in there for
like,
5 minutes.
Yeah, she wasn't even a supporter.
But anyways, who's going to win? Pretty much it's locked. She's won all three. Laura Dern, the divorce lawyer. She's from Marriage Story, the divorce lawyer from Marriage Story.
Yeah, and the
She's
Awesome Little Woman.
she's won Golden Globe. She won the Screen Actors Guild. She won the British Oscars. She's gonna win this. Who I personally think should win? Scarlett Johansson, Jojo Rabbit, easily, long, like not even a question. She should win it.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
What about you guys?
Same.
Same.
Oh, I totally agree. Scarlett Johansson, Jojo Rabbit. I said it already.
I mean
Should
this.
take this home.
I mean, this is really Scarlett Johansson's year. Her scenes in Endgame where she's crying, I love learning about Hawkeye and just breaking down because he's becoming like, he's gone crazy because
really
his
good.
best friend is like, and then her death scene, of course, where she jumps off the cliff to save Hawkeye. Marriage Story, good lord, like Marriage Story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then Jojo Rabbit. Good lord, we are lucky to have someone like Scarlett Johansson
Yeah, and
as an actress in our generation
you
because she is so good.
You most forget that those are even the same three people in those movies. Because
Right.
She becomes such different characters, but she's so nuanced in her performances, and I just adored her in Jojo Rabbit.
Oh yeah,
Adored her.
so good.
But this is a hard choice for me too because I do think that Florence Pugh was incredible in Little Women, and
Everybody was kind of amazing.
they were all amazing.
Yeah.
And I think if Florence Pugh was amazing in Midsummer, and I
Oh,
can't
was she in there too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the lead
Oh.
actress in Midsummer.
I did not know that,
It's
but I
about
haven't
her.
seen it. So
And I can't. Very different character than Amy, but I can't.
isn't she in Lady Bird also? She's like best friend
I
or
don't think so.
I think
no.
she's the rich girl. They said she's the rich girl.
No, that wasn't her.
That wasn't her.
Definitely
okay,
not her.
maybe not. I don't know.
But yeah, so Florence Pugh could have easily won this one too, but Scarlett Johansson took it away.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on to best. Oh, did you have anything else to say?
No.
You good? All right, best supporting actor. We got Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. We got Anthony Hopkins for The Two Popes. Great performance. Al Pacino, Irishman. All three great performance. Wow, what a list. Joe Pesci in Irishman. Oh my God, this list. And then of course we have Brad Pitt. Oh my God, what a list. Tom Hanks, Anthony Hopkins,
Wow.
Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, who came out of retirement
To do this movie.
after 20 years and got nominated for Best Actor. That's crazy.
Yeah.
With Al Pacino,
Wow.
of course, and then Brad Pitt. What an insane list. Well, as we know, who's going to win? It's locked. It's Brad Pitt. He's won
Yeah.
Golden Globes,
Oh yeah.
BAFTA, SAG Awards. It's a lock. Who should win? Brad Pitt. I love every single person in this movie, but Brad Pitt made Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
Yeah,
for
he
me.
was
Definitely.
fantastic.
His acid trip, his little
That was
visit.
the
best. That was the
His
best.
visit
Dog.
to the dog,
Oh my
the
gosh.
visit to the crazy cult people,
And his
and
friendship
punching that
with
guy and
Leo.
making it, yeah.
Oh.
Visiting his friend to make sure he's not being abused, and then the guy who flattened his tire punches him in the face. Change. That's not my car. Go change my tire. Oh my God, Brad Pitt was a revelation in Once Upon a Time.
He
in
was
Hollywood.
fun.
So yeah, for me, Brad Pitt all day. What about you? Same.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brad Pitt. Tom Hanks is a close second, but I did not enjoy Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I thought it was kind of boring.
Oh really? I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, so I have no opinion. But sure. I actually think that Ford versus Ferrari, Matt Damon and Christian Bale,
I'm shocked he wasn't
Yeah,
nominated.
those-
like
for
they
that,
both were
so.
so good.
Amazing. I would have loved to see that.
Yeah.
Actually, that would have been Christian Bale, right? Supporting actor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Matt Damon, they were both supporting actors. Really, it was each
Yeah.
of their movies. It's
Well-
not one or the other. Well, kind of Matt Damon's.
It was
cast,
pretty
but-
much
Matt
Matt Damon's. It was
Damon's.
following Carol Shelby, so essentially it was Matt Damon's story.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not on the list because they both were so.
They were
phenomenal.
amazing.
Yeah.
So we got Best Director now. Do you guys have anything else to add before we move on? No? Good? Okay. Best Director, we got Bong Joon-ho. I can't say
No one's
his
seen
name,
it.
I'm so sorry, but it's Parasite. One of the craziest, insane, amazing films I've ever seen. No, seriously, this is a plug. Go see Parasite right now. It's
I need
that
to see
good.
it.
It is amazing.
We got Sam Mendes, 1970s. What a just I can't even talk about it right now because I'll go on a rant.
1917.
We got Todd Phillips for Joker. He's made better movies, but
Yeah.
sure. Martin Scorsese, Irishman, great choice. great director. Like it was like watching a book come to life.
Yeah.
The Irishman. Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon in Hollywood. Yes, Quentin Tarantino did a phenomenal job with 1960 Hollywood and making those characters and building that Hollywood
And
world
it was
into
really
life.
great. It was.
I mean, this is a great list.
I don't know how to choose.
Oh, that's easy. 1917.
Yeah,
1917
yeah. I agree.
is gonna win, and it
It's
deserves
going
to
win,
win.
It does.
It's won everything, and it should. Sam Mendes telling his story of his grandfather, and
One
basically changing the game when it comes to movies. Like the things that movie does is so unbelievably game changing, groundbreaking. It's a lot. If Sam Mendes doesn't win this, it's gonna be a travesty. Let's just put it that way. If he doesn't win Best Director, the Oscars screwed up.
Yeah, I agree, but man, it's a tight choice for this.
It's a tight choice, but none of them changed game-changing things like what Sam Mendes did.
No, they didn't.
So, what about you?
For me, Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and the reason why I say that
Oh, wow.
is because
That's my close
the
second.
cumulative acting in that was phenomenal.
But
And
that's
I
not directing,
believe
though.
no, but I believe
kind of
that the
is.
only reason behind that was the directing. So
Yeah.
Okay.
basically, the only reason you could get all of those actors together
True.
with that much talent, with that perfection in acting, is with a good director.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Quentin Tarantino has he won Best Director? I think he won for Inglourious Bastards, if I remember correctly. So I know he has it, but I think
Brad Pitt's really pulling him along there.
well, I mean, you know what? This is the third movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, second
Yeah.
movie with Brad Pitt. I mean, they kind of hold on to Quentin Tarantino pretty strongly. But I just think Sam Mendes bringing World War I story to life was just so unbelievably amazing directing. Just everything is just so beautiful and shot so well, and the music and direction and even the actors in that movie don't get enough credit because it's a director's movie, it's a cinematography movie, it's a music movie. But I also think the actor was just phenomenal, and the things he went through, and those two guys that went through all that stuff. So, yeah, all right. So we got.
Oh, Shane, what was your?
I mean, Sam Mendes 100% deserves to win.
So we got Once Upon a Time, 1917, 1917. Okay. The next one is Best Cinematography. We got Jairus Blashke for The Lighthouse. Oh gosh, yes. The Lighthouse was the
great.
shooting, the film scenes, everything was very unique with black and white, of course. Just very interesting movie. Roger Deakins for 1917, 100% yes. Rodrigo Prieto, The Irishman. Yeah, it was good too. I liked it. Robert Richardson, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Great shot movie, driving, old Hollywood. Great cinematography. And Lawrence Sher for Joker. Yeah.
I think Little Women should be on this list.
Um,
And I think Greta Gerwig should have been on Best Director's list as well.
yeah, I agree with that.
With her second movie.
Who's going to win? Roger Deakins for 1917.
Absolutely.
Who ought to
Definitely.
win? Roger Deakins,
Yes,
1917.
100%.
You cannot watch that movie and tell me that's like nothing new. I don't believe you. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to
Same.
win and he deserves to win.
Oh, that's a one across the board. 1917. Yeah.
Lighthouse is a close second.
It is.
True.
And Once
True.
Upon a Time,
And
Those-
Once Upon a Time is a
What
close
those
Those
second.
driving
yeah.
scenes of him just
There's a
driving
lot
through
of
old
driving
Hollywood.
scenes, but they're all
I
gorgeous.
ate that shit up, man.
And
Like
it
it
made
was
me
great.
feel like I lived in the 60s.
But
And
70s, 80s,
70s,
The Irishman
yeah.
too. That great
Yeah.
stuff. Driving through all the way to Detroit.
I mean, yeah.
Subdivisions of Detroit and New York and Brooklyn and, gosh, it's a good list.
It's a great
But Roger
list.
Deakins deserves
Oh,
to
yeah.
win.
There's no contest.
Okay. Next on our list is Best Original Screenplay, and the nominees are Noah Baumbach. I'm sorry if I said
Baumbach,
that. Yeah, for Marriage Story. Yes, that movie was in straight up screenplay. Bong Joon-ho and Ha Jin-won for Parasite. One of the most original screenplays I have
No
ever
spoilers.
Yeah.
I need to see it.
ever
still.
seen in my
That
life.
is amazing.
Ryan Johnson for Knives Out. I didn't even see that. Heck yeah, Knives Out. Ryan Johnson
Yes.
made that movie.
Yes.
Wow, what a
Knives
great
Out.
list.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Mendes and Christy Wilson for 1917. Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time Hollywood. All of those movies, 10 out of 10. Each and every one of them.
Absolutely.
Marriage Story, Parasite, Knives Out, 1917, Once Upon a Time. But that's a strong screenplay list. Who will win is going to be Parasite.
Yeah.
You cannot watch that movie and tell me that's just another movie you're watching. The
So
things
true.
that movie did
Gotta
is
watch
just
it. I gotta see it.
so good. Like, and yeah, it's gonna win, and it should win. What about you guys?
I haven't seen Parasite yet. I've seen the rest of them. I'd really love to see Knives Out get an award because I loved that movie. But
is
is
pretty
it the
great.
best original screenplay of the year? Probably not. I'd probably go with 1917.
All right.
Or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a really hard choice.
I'm definitely going with Parasite because I've never seen a movie like it.
I just want to watch it again.
I do too. Yes.
It's like
I've gotta
We need a
see
movie
it.
night. We need a movie night.
I
to
actually
watch
own it
that.
on DVD, or I'm sorry, on
Alright.
Blu-ray. I bought it because it was so good.
It is
Okay,
amazing.
so me and George got Parasite. Shannon hasn't seen Parasite, but I'm sure you'd agree with this if you saw it.
Okay.
Best adapted screenplay, we got Greta Gerwig for Little Woman
Oh,
because it's not original.
that's why she's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she took a book and she made it into a movie, which I agree
Yes.
with. Anthony McCartan for The Two Popes, who bought the rights to the Two Popes book that was written by I forgot the guy's name who's trying to retire. What's his name? In Two Popes.
I don't know.
He kept trying
Benedict.
to retire.
Oh, Pope Francis.
Yeah, I think that's his book. I think yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Todd Phillips for Joker. Sorry.
Yeah,
As you can
no.
tell, I'm not a
Yeah,
fan
no.
of Joker.
I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't even. Yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry.
Adapted screenplay, and they want
They
to
can
nominate
even-
Joker.
Yeah, I
That makes no sense.
Yeah, it's not even using any of the comics.
No.
It's just, I guess they're using the character in Gotham City and Bruce Wayne. So, but it's no.
Disappointment.
Yeah. Taika Waititi for Jojo Rabbit.
Yes.
Steve's. I had to do that. I love Jojo Rabbit.
It's so good.
Steve Zalian for Irishman. Yeah, that book is like they literally took a really long, boring book and make it into a 3.5-hour movie, and it was, to me personally, it was fascinating. I
My
know a
dad
lot of people.
loved that book.
Yeah. So who will win? Easy choice. Jojo Rabbit. They deserve it. Taika Waititi. The screenplay is just bonkers. Yeah. He deserves to win. Jojo Rabbit. Who I think should win? Jojo Rabbit. Though I would put Little Women up there
Okay,
with
yeah.
Jojo Rabbit, and I
Understand.
would also put the Two Popes up there because actually Irishman too. This is just a great list. If anybody won this list, I'd be pretty satisfied. I think all
Except
all
for Joker.
adapted screenplays
Yeah,
except for Joker.
Joker.
Burn that
We can
in a
all
dumpster
agree on that
fire.
one.
Middle finger, get out of my face. I'm sorry. I know. I just can't wait until this season is over so I can never have to talk about Joker again because I really didn't like that movie.
I really.
So Joker too. No.
I mean, they're doing it, but
Here we
yeah.
go.
But who do you guys got? Who do you think you want to win?
I really, really want to see Jojo Rabbit get some awards. I loved that movie. But
It's gonna win it. It's
but,
locked.
But I gotta
I'd
give
be
it to
very
Little
shocked.
Women personally, because I've always hated the book. I thought it was boring. I could never get past the first chapter, and I fell in love with this
More
movie.
than Jojo Rabbit?
Because of the fact that
Wow.
I've
You can't say
tried.
that.
I love reading. I've read every book you ever put in front of me.
Yeah.
But I have tried and failed many times to read many different versions of Little Women. Abridged versions, kid versions, they all bored me to tears. But this movie adapted it into something amazing that I really enjoyed watching. So for that reason, I would say it's a great adapted screenplay. But don't get me wrong, I also adored Jojo Rabbit. I just didn't know it was a book.
Oh, that makes sense.
For me, I've got The Irishman. Shockingly.
Wow, we're all different. Jojo, Little Woman, and Irishman. Wow. So
Yeah.
you finished it.
Yes, I did.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
did, and yeah, I would have to say that in regards to adapted screenplay, I thought it was phenomenal. Just because, I mean, like, they really fit the characters very well.
Right.
So
Yeah, and the last one that's locked in for us is Best Picture. And the nominees for Best Picture are Ford versus Ferrari. God, that movie needs to be nominated more. great film. Go see it.
So good. Go see it.
The Irishman, great movie also. Jojo Rabbit, great. Joker, what's that movie? I don't care. Dump It on Fire. Okay, listen. I feel like
Why
people
is it
already
on
think
the
I
list?
hate. Yeah, it's on the list. It's nominated for Best Picture. Little Woman, yes. Marriage Story, 100% yes.
Mhm.
1970s, come on. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, come on. Parasite, seriously, absolutely yes. Who should win? Okay, this is a really hard list for me
Very difficult.
because there are 4 movies that I love here. I got Parasite, I got Marriage Story, I got Little Women, I got Irishman. Oh, 5 actually, and I got Ford versus Ferrari. Any of those movies, any other year should win, but it's gonna be 1917,
Yeah.
and it deserves to win it
It
because 1917 is just I cannot wait to buy that movie and watch all the special features and how they shot it, how
Yeah.
they made it, what they did, all the techniques. I'm gonna eat all that stuff up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm so
Absolutely,
excited.
yeah.
I love film. I love new films that really changed the way. Like Parasite's another one. If Parasite won and 1917 didn't, I would not be upset because Parasite is another movie that was just so freaking like out of nowhere left field. Nobody saw that movie coming. Both movies are just so original, and it makes me so happy when I get to watch a movie and see something that's never been done before. And both movies did it pretty well. I think if it wasn't for 1917, Parasite would have won it. But this is such a crazy year. The sound design in Ford versus Ferrari is so good. How
Definitely
they
deserves to win for sound design.
how they shot and how they filmed.
These car sounds.
Car sounds
Just for 3 hours.
And car racing is boring, but they didn't make it.
Yeah.
There's
You're turning left for 24 hours in this race that they're filming on.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I wasn't bored, not even once.
No.
So-
It was amazing.
I saw it
you know.
twice.
Oh yeah, you did. Didn't you? I did too. I saw it with Stephanie. But yeah, 1970 is gonna win. But this is such a great year for movies. So yeah, that's our list. That's who's locked in to win. We got other lists that we can talk about now. Can you go through them? The ones we didn't say, because they're just kind of up in the air, and I didn't say any of them because of that.
Let's see here. We have animated shorts. Do you want me to read these off?
Yeah.
For animated shorts, we have Desira, Hair Love, which I think should win, Kit Bowl, Memorable, and Sister. I haven't heard of any of those, but I do love Hair Love. Thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Oh yeah, I
see.
did like Hair Love. I did see that.
For
It was before Abominable.
we have Best Documentary Feature.
Well, no. Let's go. I'm gonna say Hair Love because I haven't seen any of those
Oh,
movies.
okay.
So I'm sure Hair Love. Why not? That's my prediction.
I was gonna say Kitbull because I just like the name.
Kit Bowl.
Okay.
I haven't seen it, but I didn't get a chance to see any of those. So
Yeah.
There's 2 documentary categories, but I know neither of us have seen any of these documentaries, so we'll skip on by those.
Okay.
Live action short films. There's Brotherhood, Nefta Football Club, The Neighbor's Window, Saria, and A Sister. I haven't seen any of those. Have you?
no, but I was gonna say the neighbor's window for my pick. It just sounds so strange.
Save The Neighbor's Window for what?
Yeah. Sorry,
the
guys.
neighbor's window.
These-
I feel like
yeah.
that would be interesting for just the name of it
Yeah,
makes
the
it sound
name alone.
interesting.
Right.
International feature films. We have Corpus Christi, Honeyland.
Farewell. Is Farewell in there?
No.
No.
There's Corpus Christi,
I'm
Honeyland,
shocked
Les
about that.
Mis.
I would have thought Farewell would have been in there.
Yeah,
because
that's a
that was a
great
big.
movie.
That was a big film too.
Oh, Parasite is gonna win that.
Pa-
Oh,
Parasite
definitely.
won,
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't even
Most
see it.
definitely.
Pain and Glory and Parasite.
If it's not Pain and Glory, it's gonna be Parasite's gonna win it.
Yeah.
Parasite.
I'm
yeah.
putting my money on it actually. That Parasite will definitely win Best International Film.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Well,
that's one.
Yeah, it will. It'll win, and it deserves to. What about film editing? We have Ford versus
Editing?
Ferrari,
Okay.
The Irishman,
Okay.
Jojo Rabbit,
Mm.
Joker, and Parasite.
Wow, I could pick 3. That's a tough list. Ford versus Ferrari for sure,
Yeah.
because those racing cutscenes between the pit
Yeah,
and the
that's true.
That
um,
was gonna be my pick, too.
Irishman because of the time jump and all the young old.
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit because holy crap, Jojo Rabbit had really interesting scenes that they shoot. Are you gonna be okay over there?
Yeah.
Who's going to win? I hope it's Parasite or Force vs. Ferrari or JoJo. I don't know. I can't pick one. I'm sorry.
They're hard. It's a hard choice. I think I'd go with Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, I was gonna say
would
I
agree with
think
you on that,
I
yeah.
think I would go with Ford versus Ferrari, but I'm not gonna be upset if Parasite or Jojo Rabbit won.
Here's a good one. Sound editing.
Oh, Ford versus Ferrari for that.
That's the first
Oh no,
one on
sorry,
the list.
no, 1917. Is that in there?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll go down the list. Ford versus Ferrari,
Okay,
Joker,
okay,
1917,
okay,
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
okay.
Star Wars,
Really?
Mhm.
Rise of the
Yep.
Skywalker.
What?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
So,
Uh-huh.
what is it for?
For
Sound editing.
Whoa.
Because that
no
honestly,
way.
that probably requires the most sound editing out of all of them.
I didn't
it's,
even realize that.
Star Wars.
Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta put all those lightsaber sounds in every single scene.
Spaceship
and
battle.
spaceships
And make
and
sure that it all
it's
lines
mostly
up.
fake
And,
sound. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Star
Almost
Wars won
entirely.
enough that they're not gonna do it again. It's the same sounds they've been using for all 9 movies.
Well,
but you never know.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Ford versus Ferrari again.
I would say 1917.
For
I-
sound?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I went with Star Wars.
Star Wars, I mean, yeah. It,
Just because how much goes into it.
I mean, 1970s sound was amazing. The sound of the battlefield and like how they incorporated the tense battle-looking scenes with a shot of a person's face the whole movie. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one. 1917.
I feel like most of the sound
Ford
effects
versus
in
Ferrari.
1917 were probably practical effects.
Yeah, that's probably true. I would. Yeah,
Whereas Star Wars had like 2 practical effects and the rest was all in the editing.
I think Ford versus Ferrari is gonna win though. I think Ford versus Ferrari, but I don't think it's a lock because right now it's so 50-50. It could be 1917 or it could be Ford versus Ferrari. Both are like game changing things for sound. So yeah.
Sound mixing. Your guys' big movie that you loved is on here. Ad Astra.
You know, I can see that. Yeah.
I've already forgotten the entire
It's-
plot of that movie. It was so.
It was
boring.
shot beautifully. Very boring, but it was
Very
shot
boring.
and the sounds were just
Mhm.
very
So,
haunting in
so
ways.
forgettable, and if it wasn't on this list, I would not even remember that I saw
See,
it.
that's the thing. I like Ad Astra because I like weird science fiction movies,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
was totally up
Definitely
my
one of
alley.
them.
2001, Interstellar.
It wasn't even
Annihilation.
really science fiction because it was
It was
pretty much all
definitely-
stuff that could happen in the
It's
future.
definitely science fiction.
Still science fiction. Yeah.
It's for sure
was-
science fiction.
Well, it was futuristic.
That's science fiction.
Yeah.
I would say science fiction is stuff that can't happen.
No, science
No,
fiction
science
is.
fiction is literally what
What
like
could happen in
usually
the future.
does happen.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
true, too.
That's true.
Because in the
Yeah.
past, that's exactly all the things that they were trying to come up with. We wouldn't have come up with them if it wasn't for science
Yeah, like
fiction.
Star Trek changed that.
That's
An
true.
iPhone is really a
Beam
a
me
try-
up, Scotty.
No, not that. You could press buttons, do maps. You could, if somebody's sick, you could take it and then do like X-rays. All of that stuff Steve Jobs created iPhone for because that's all Star Trek originally. So yeah,
Yeah.
and that is science fiction. Star Trek is science fiction that
Yeah.
became reality because the kids that grew up watching that stuff liked it and wanted to make something like it. Henceforth, Steve Jobs, who liked Star Trek, who created the iPhone.
Yeah, I don't see Ad Astra as so much as science fiction.
It's,
I think it was more like
It's 100%
futuristic space.
That's science fiction, Shannon.
It was too grounded in reality. There were no aliens.
There were aliens.
Were there?
Yeah.
See, I don't remember anything
The
about
sound
this
that was
movie.
attacking Earth, and the
I don't remember anything about this movie, apparently. It was so boring. So for sound mixing, we have Ad Astra, Ford versus Ferrari, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
sound mixing.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, taking all the weird Hollywood sounds and mixing it with the characters and the story.
Yeah, I
Great
can
mixing.
see that.
Ford versus Ferrari, all the Ford versus Ferrari is gonna win. That
Yeah,
the
probably.
way Ford gets in the car and then Matt Damon steals him and then he makes them go around the pit. And just it's Ford versus Ferrari.
Probably.
19 and 17 can also steal it because great sound mixing in 1970. But I think both categories sound Ford versus Ferrari probably is going to inch out and win at the end. What about you guys?
I was thinking 1917.
1917. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What was yours?
Yeah, probably Ford versus Ferrari.
Okay. What else do we got?
Production design. We have The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, and Parasite.
1917. Easily.
They're probably gonna win
Yeah,
it.
probably so.
Easily. And that's a great list. And all of those movies
They all could win.
look like they worked their butt off in production. Ford versus Ferrari was in there, right?
No, it wasn't in there.
What?
Irishman, Jojo
Racetrack?
Rabbit,
Okay,
1917,
whatever. I know.
Cars? I mean,
Hollywood,
Sorry.
Parasite.
Little Woman should be in there too.
Little Women should
Yeah, 'cause
absolutely
they-
be
There's
in
two
there.
Wow.
movies that needs to
They
be in there.
filmed on location on a lot of those
Yeah.
sites were like historical sites that they filmed on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be 1917 though.
I'm gonna go with Jojo Rabbit because
No
they
way.
created a world.
way.
No way. And I love Jojo Rabbit,
love
but
it.
no way does that make any sense when
Maybe
it
I
comes
don't
to
understand what production design means.
It's how you make
The
the
set.
the sets, the scenery.
Yeah,
the,
then I'm going with Jojo Rabbit.
Are you-
Yes, because
Wow.
they made
What
the
movie did
book
you watch?
come to life.
Jojo. Okay.
They create. I've been to Germany. I used to live there.
Okay.
That's
They
true.
they created a world that was believable, but it was also cartoony, and that's hard to do.
1917.
I honestly think you're right. Probably 1917 will win it, but I did want Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I mean,
See,
that's a power list
I
right
loved
there.
Yeah.
1917, but it's just a battlefield, which is just a bunch of dirt, and there's
But
That
they-
is
they made
not
the-
what happened.
They made the entire thing like into
No
one.
Man's Land? Are you kidding me? And the
They-
bunkers?
Yeah,
No
but bunkers,
way!
bunkers
Amazing
are
job.
not that hard to build. That's why they call them bunkers, because
No!
they're easy to quick dig and build.
No.
The-
Not
16-year-old
Not
girl
the-
in the
Not,
army
not
were doing
concrete
it.
ones.
Yeah, like livable, like actual.
Yeah, but they're like easy to build. That's why they build them out in the middle of nowhere with nothing
the
but
broken
shovels and
down
mud.
Germany city where he's running through the buildings.
Yeah.
I mean, like
But
the production is
Jojo
off
Rabbit
this.
was that times a million.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
what? Okay.
It was a much smaller area for
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit because they
Yeah.
didn't
It's-
have very many.
It's a house. It's
No,
a
it's an
campground.
entire city.
No, that's just a city that just exists. They didn't build anything. It was already there. That's how
Uh,
production
to be
works.
perfectly honest,
So-
they had asphalt.
Yeah,
I
actually, that's
didn't
true.
know if I didn't know
They
if that was a
used
whoops.
They didn't
moment or
build
not.
anything in Jojo Rabbit. They used
Right.
the same cities and just filmed in it. They didn't like literally 1970.
They
built
built their
like a
entire
Yeah,
city
set.
that
that's
doesn't
true.
exist
That
today.
is cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Once
yeah.
upon a time in Hollywood, they
1970.
made
If
everything
I think
there.
it's a
Yeah.
huge close battle between because Once Upon a Time made 1960 Hollywood come to life.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist again.
Yeah.
Both
yeah,
1917 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had to make production that wasn't just there.
Well, wouldn't you say in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood they were driving around old Hollywood?
No, they built that set. They
They
spent
built the
millions of
entire thing.
dollars.
They built that
And
set?
they built the set like 19. They spent millions of dollars to
Huh.
build it. It didn't. They didn't just go somewhere and they just filmed it. That everything you're seeing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 1917
That's all.
doesn't
set?
exist. Yeah, it's
Huh.
a set. It's production.
Okay.
It was
Jojo
huge.
Jojo Rabbit did film in the same similar house, and things that already existed. They
Okay.
used. That's how it goes. So
All right.
I mean, it's a really. Again, I think it's gonna be tough between 1917.
Well, then I would go with Once Upon a Time
And
over 1917 because I do think 1917 is a bunch of stuff. Really cool what they did, but it's a bunch of stuff that is designed to be built by like 19-year-olds who have nothing but a shovel.
That's not even close to being true. But okay, sure.
It's a hole in the ground with sticks on the
No,
side
no,
and
no.
sandbags,
No, that's
as compared to
that's-
an entire old Hollywood city.
there's a whole German city that's falling apart
Yeah,
that
but
doesn't
didn't they
exist.
just find an old building?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. They make
Okay.
CGI to look so realistic that your brain doesn't know it's fake. That's how, like the bridge scene where he's climbing,
Yeah.
the river scene, and like the expanse of the city, the trenches. Half those trenches didn't even dig. It's just done in such a way that makes it look like it's there.
Okay.
I mean, it's you gotta. Well, I mean, again, I don't think a lot of people know this, but I've been watching the making of 1970
Gotcha.
because it's so groundbreaking. But yeah, there's no way Once Upon a Time is winning that. But if it wasn't for 1917, I do believe Quentin Tarantino would have had that in the bag.
Okay.
So.
Gotcha.
Anyways, what's next on our list? I like when I argue with you guys. It's not as boring.
We have original score. We have Joker. I don't know why that's even on there.
1917.
Oh, gosh.
I don't even have to look at the list.
Yeah,
We
1917.
have Little
I
Women,
think you're right.
Marriage Story, 1917, and Star Wars.
1917.
I've seen people trying to get they were trying to get a petition started to get the 1917 soundtrack out.
Isn't it out?
I don't know.
Oh my god, the music in that movie
Yeah.
is like there's so many things in that movie. I just can't believe a movie like 1917 even exists.
So this is a good fun story about the music in this movie. I don't follow music very often. I don't really care about music, but there is one composer that when I hear him, I know it's him every time, and I will call it every time. His name is Thomas Newman. He is Randy Newman's cousin.
Oh, I remember you saying that in the review.
I said this in the theater.
Oh, you did?
Well, before we even left the movie. Randy Newman's cousin. Randy Newman did Toy Story. Thomas Newman has done Finding Nemo, was his first movie. Saving Mr. Banks. He did the 2004 Lemony Snicket movie. And now he's done this movie.
So that's 4 movies.
That's the 4 that came to my head right now.
So he's winning the Oscar this year then.
Every time I hear Thomas Newman's music,
You can tell.
you can tell. It's very distinct. It has its own style. And I like his music a lot. So 1917.
I agree with that, and someone very similar to a composer that I really enjoy is Hans Zimmer.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Inception,
Yes.
The Dark Knight,
Wow.
Man of Steel,
Amazing.
Interstellar, Dunkirk. Every time he does the music, I think his groundbreaking, of course, was Inception. Inception is such a haunting soundtrack. But yeah, I agree. I can tell when it's a similar composer like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1970 is for sure gonna win that. The music is, oh my god, so many. Just the flare scene where he's running through the city and the music that just kicks, and then he finds these men who are just singing in a forest. There's just so many scenes where the music is just so beautiful that you're just in awe of what you're watching. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, 1917. 1917?
Yeah.
1917? Okay,
Yeah.
next.
Original song. This is a fun one. First one on here is I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away from Toy Story. Oh, look,
Toy Story 4.
That's who I was just talking about.
Yeah.
That's Randy Newman.
Oh, he
So
did
they're
Toy Story 4
cousins.
as well?
Randy Newman is Thomas Newman's cousin. They're cousins.
They're both nominated?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Randy Newman's not going to win this year, though, because he's won already for Toy Story. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. And I love Toy Story and I love Randy Newman, but I'm not going to win on this one. I'm going to love Me Again from Rocket Man. Didn't see that movie.
This was really good.
Oh, okay.
Very beautiful, weird music choices and
Huh.
very drug trip, like acid trip type of movie. But it was, I think you both should watch Rocket Man.
Okay.
It's really good.
I'll have to see that one. I'm Standing With You from Breakthrough. Either of you heard of that one?
But I already know who's going to win.
No idea. Stand Up from Harriet.
No idea.
And the best one, who should obviously win, Into the Unknown from Frozen 2.
No, it's gonna be Rocket Man. If you watch that song
Really?
in the movie, you're gonna see that there's zero chance of
I
anybody
don't
winning.
think the Academy's going to not give Disney an award this year.
No, he's winning it. It's guaranteed. He's won every single one so far. BAFTA, Golden Globes.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna win it
Seriously?
for Rocket
Oh.
Man.
I haven't even heard of the song. So.
It would be an upset if Into the Unknown or any of those, if any, like that's how
That's
good that
shocking.
song is in Rocket Man.
Sorry, Frozen 2, you deserved it.
But Frozen,
Yeah.
I mean, Let It Go won, and it deserved to, back in the day.
Yeah, it did.
So they're not gonna give it to Frozen again. They're
I
not gonna
think-
give it to Toy Story either.
I actually think Show Yourself was the better song in Frozen 2 and should have been on this list instead of Into the Unknown.
I don't know. Into the Unknown is pretty freaking good.
It's amazing, but Show Yourself is the one
That's true.
that a
'cause
lot
it-
of music
it's like,
fans like.
It's like a compilation, really, of the whole soundtrack.
It
It
is,
throws
yeah.
in like 3 songs into one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is what's so cool about it.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah. If it wasn't for Rocket Man being as good as it is, yeah, I think you're right. It would have been either Toy Story 4 or Frozen 2, but not with Rocket Man coming out of nowhere and just blowing people out of the water. What else? Do we have anything else?
Makeup and hair. We have Bombshell, Joker, Judy, and Maleficent, Mistress of Evil in 1917.
Judy or Bombshell. It's either gonna be
Really?
Renee Zellweger turning into Judy Garland or Charlize Theron turning into Megyn Kelly. and I think it's gonna go to Megyn Kelly as Charlize Theron.
I think Bombshell should get it.
Bombshell.
But
Because
I think
it's about makeup. No.
It's-
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
I did not see that coming. Okay. It's either gonna be Charlize Theron as Megyn Kelly or Renee Zellweger as Judy Garland. Both are neck to neck. It could go either way. Nobody knows right now. They've both, like, every award, one went to Judy and one went to Charlize Theron. So we'll see what happens. If I had to choose personally, I would say Judy Garland for Renee, because I did not recognize Renee Zellweger. I still recognize Charlize Theron in Bombshell. I did not recognize Renee Zellweger in that movie. So yeah, that's my choice. What about you guys?
Yeah, Bombshell or Judy. Yeah.
Bombshell.
All right.
Costume design.
What do we got?
The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Little Women or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for me?
Little Women.
Little Women.
100% Little Women.
It could go either way because the style of the Hollywood and the things they wore was very, very. I mean, I love watching Margot Robbie in that movie, not just because she's a beautiful woman, but because how they dressed her, how they used the clothes that actress wore, and then put it onto Margot Robbie was just. I mean.
In Bombshell?
No. Once Upon a Time in Bollywood.
Oh, I was
In
gonna
Bollywood?
say. I was gonna say she wasn't dressed all that impressively in Bombshell.
That'll be the next spin-off, Once Upon a Time in Bollywood.
I would love to see that.
That would be
awesome.
hilarious.
That would be
I would
so
I'd
love
watch
that
it.
too. Me too.
That would be a
But yeah,
blast.
I think it's gonna be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think it is not that the costumes aren't, like, again, this is the reason
I think
nobody
Little
could
Women
predict
should
this
win it.
because
Little Women should win it.
but the costume in both movies is really high quality.
Sure.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Little Women. I personally think it should be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's a Little Woman. Either, for me, it's 50-50 on that. Either one.
I'm
Yeah.
a little confused why Jojo Rabbit's on this list because they didn't design the costumes. They just created costumes that are
They did.
historical.
No, the one costume.
Which
Yeah.
one?
The pink and all the.
You talking about the blue guy?
That would be the one costume that would just blow everything out.
I mean,
of
no
the
joke.
water.
Jojo Rabbit has some amazing production, and Jojo Rabbit also has costume and makeup.
Fun trivia fact: Hugo Boss designed the Nazi uniforms.
Am I supposed to know who that is?
Hugo Boss, like the big fashion designer that still has a line today and still sells.
Do I look like somebody who's interested in style? Who
The
actually-
audience knows.
He actually
Yes.
the original Nazi uniforms.
Yes, Hugo Boss.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Why is he a
Whoa.
big deal? I'm so confused.
He's still in business today. He's like a big fashion designer company that, with like $1
Oh
million.
my
And he
God.
designed the
He
original
designed
Nazi
the
costume
Nazi uniforms.
Oh
from
my
the
goodness.
World War II.
Yeah, I mean, I
He
don't
did
think
it.
I don't think he's alive right now, but like his company.
Whoa.
Yeah, just fun facts.
That is shocking. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They don't exactly advertise that, but
Well,
I can imagine now.
I wonder why. Okay, what else we got?
We
They
have
were
one-
stylish.
one last category:
Uh-huh.
visual effects, and I think we all know who's gonna get this
1917.
Oh
one.
I don't
no
even
no.
Okay,
No,
just say it.
No, it's
Just-
not going to be that. I don't think so. Avengers Endgame, The Irishman, 1917, Star Wars, and The Lion King.
Oh, the
Lion
Lion
King.
King. Though I
Yeah.
do wish Lion King doesn't win and it's 1917. That's why, personally, if award is up for 1917, I'm just going to say 1917 every time.
But for visual effects, the visual effects weren't that amazing. I mean, like, the cinematography was phenomenal, but the visual
The
effects...
camera work was amazing.
The
yeah.
camera work was amazing, but the visual effects in and of themselves weren't
I just
that
didn't like The
phenomenal.
Lion King, so I just don't want to give it to them. That's just me.
Oh.
I mean, it's sure. It's
Avengers
It-
Endgame
they
could
did
get
an
it
amazing
because
job on
the
just
villain... who's the
Infinity
vil-
War 1. They're not winning it this year.
Oh, Infinity War already won.
Infinity War 1 last year, and then Black Panther also won.
Okay.
So this
Oh,
year,
yeah,
there's
they're
no
done
way in
with
heck
Disney.
they're done with Disney. It's
Well,
either gonna
except
be
for The Lion King. Shoot, they still
Well,
gotta
I mean
give it
Marvel.
to Disney.
I should
Disney's
say
gotta
Marvel.
Yeah,
get
they're done.
an
Yeah, they're
Oscar
done with
this
Marvel.
year.
If Lion King's win, I can see it. I just don't like that movie.
Yeah.
So
Me neither. But I do have to
I hope
admit,
it's 1917.
in all honesty, they did do the best job of visual effects in that movie. I am
They did.
not
They
gonna
did
lie.
a great job. Yeah.
All right. Well, that
All
is
right.
our big Oscar review. We're gonna finish this off with our list of worst movies from 2019. We're gonna do this really quickly. I have three. I don't know how many you guys have. I can only name three that I thought were just terrible.
Oh man, I didn't even think of this list.
Man.
I'll go first
You
because
go
I know
first,
mine.
and I gotta think on this.
So mine is Joker, because F you for thinking that's DC related, because it's not.
Oh wow.
And I really hate. Look, I love Joaquin Phoenix's performance, and I appreciate what he did to his body by becoming anorexic skinny, and he's a great performer. Joaquin Phoenix has always killed it. But the movie just terrible, and look, like I know people like it because it's not comic booky. Well, you can make a movie that's not comic booky without calling it a comic book movie or a superhero movie. So for me, like, I can't stand the Joker. The more I liked it fine until all the praise. Then it got nominated for Best Picture, but The Dark Knight didn't. Gaff off. Like, screw you.
That's
like,
a good point.
Like, no, Dark
The Dark
Knight
Knight should
deserved to win
yeah.
Best Picture and get nominated for Best Picture. Not this stupid movie, who's not even like related to the comics. Heath Ledger won Best Actor for the Joker. Joaquin Phoenix does not deserve to win the Oscar because Heath Ledger deserved it, and he was comic accurate while using material from the comics. So for me, Joker is just a terrible film. I know I'm gonna get bombarded with hate mail, but
No, I
whatever.
agree with
Just yeah,
It
like
wasn't enjoyable.
just go flush it down a toilet for all I care. So that's the last time I'm talking about Joker, worst movie of 2019. It's up there.
Wow.
It's in the bottom because it's not the worst movie, but it's up there enough for me to say it's still pretty trash. So you know, my next movie is Lion King. Oh my gosh, like I really
Yeah.
could not stand
Can
this
you feel
movie.
the love in the middle of the day?
Yeah, just not just
That was
that. It was just boring, and they didn't make any like. It's a good the technology is cool to look at, but the reason we like the animated movies is because those animals can give face like emotional reactions. Like when it's like Mufasa dying and Simba's just like, "Oh no, Dad, I'm so sad right now.
That was exactly right.
This is so
Yeah.
Dad, wake up. Dad, wake up."
Well, yeah.
It's like, no,
That was
I don't.
terrible.
I did not ask for this Lion King. I don't want to ever see another 2D, which is weird because the same director did Jungle Book. I loved Jungle Book.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
He just wanted to make it very realistic and took away all the emotions off their faces, which is not what that movie should have been because.
Well, I think Jungle Book having a lead child actor,
But those animals made facial reactions
Yeah.
in the Jungle Book.
but having a human in there helped.
Also
a lot.
helped a lot, but having emotional reactions on the bears and the panthers and the snakes and the Christopher
Yeah.
Walkens of whatever that big giant monkey was. Like all that stuff adds to the tension, the wolf or the tiger that's trying to eat Mowgli. All of that stuff works because you see like anger on the animals. You see happiness on the animals. So for me, Lion King was just it was a cool experiment.
Scarlett Johansson tries to strangle you.
Exactly. No, that's true. She was the snake.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lion King, trash. I don't want to see it. The other one movie, right there on the top this time is It Chapter 2. Two clown movies, one Joker. The other one, It Chapter 2. Good lord.
That
You
was pretty
literally like a lot of times I had to sit through a movie and kind of like really like let it sink in for me to realize if I liked it or not. And yeah, It Chapter 2 was really by the book adult versions of the first movie, and it's 3.5 hours long.
That was way too long.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like long movies.
Yeah, and I was just I couldn't stand it. I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. I think it was stupid. I just everything. There were parts that were good, but overall it was just not that good of a movie, and there was no reason for it to be 3 hours long. Of course, on my next list of movies is top 2, but I'm gonna save that so I can let you guys talk. Who do you guys got?
I'm still
I
trying
hope
to
one of you
figure
has
out.
Cats since you saw it last year.
No, Cats didn't make my bottom of the year.
What?
No,
What? That
Cats
is
was
shocking.
at least interesting and kept my attention the whole time.
You do you.
It was a train wreck, but I enjoyed every second of that train wreck. Bottom of the year, Captain Marvel. Couldn't hold my attention. I was bored out of my mind. Didn't find it interesting at all.
Oh,
Didn't
I
understand
I
the
love
plot.
Captain Marvel.
No, I
I
couldn't.
love the idea of Brie
I
Larson trying to
was-
control their emotions and then waking up and then learning to become emotional and like using
It's
anger.
a great premise. I didn't get into it. I didn't think it was interesting. I was so excited for Brie Larson because I liked her in other movies, and I thought it was boring. What other movies did I hate this year? Oh, Dark Phoenix completely bored me to tears. I think
I was entertained.
the
so I was
problem was
happy.
that
It
I
was
haven't
action.
seen very many X-Men movies, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
was
If you
totally
haven't-
lost.
If you haven't seen X-Men First Class, then you
Yeah.
really won't feel a connection with any of them.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So that one did not do the trick for me.
Anything
And
else?
then, we have to put the one that we just talked about on the list.
Lion King.
Color Out of Space.
Oh.
No, that's 2020. It came out last
That
week.
is. Oh, yeah. So that
okay.
doesn't count for 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, do not
That'll
put
be on
that on
next
that
year's
list.
list.
Next year.
Yeah, I can see that.
Next year, yes. Well, for mine, I've got to say, worst movie I've seen. Well, I hate to say it, because I really thought it was going to be interesting, but Ready or Not was terrible.
I'm glad I didn't see it then.
That was a terrible movie. The ending was just.
I hear people really
Horrendous.
liked it.
I
It's
thought
like-
I thought it was
It's
gonna be
actually
good.
a
and
lot
then
of
it
people
was-
like that movie. That's funny.
Yeah, it just I didn't like it very much. And then coming in probably around like second was Maleficent.
Didn't see it.
That was terrible. And let's see what other movies. I know I didn't like Lion King, but I can't say that it was like absolute. Well, no,
Yeah.
it was horrendous. There were I'm sure there were other movies that
I thought Ad Astra was terrible, boring.
it
Didn't
was
get
it was
into it.
very very
I
very
was-
slow. But I wouldn't say it was a bad movie.
It
per se.
was thought provoking and slow, but that's the type of sci-fi I like. So for me, it definitely was good for me. And I thought Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones are just eating up the screen between their long lost connection and him losing his dad and letting him go, and he's suicidal. There's just a lot of things in the Ad Astra that I just yes, it's a very slow movie, and I get why, but for me, I love that stuff. I love 2001: A Space Odyssey. I love Blade Runner. I love so many movies that are sci-fi that are just.
I loved Interstellar and Inception and all those ones, but I couldn't.
Interstellar's okay. It's not as good as.
Oh, I
2001.
love Interstellar.
I don't like action sci-fi. I just don't. I
loved
don't want.
Arrival was amazing.
Realistic
Arrival.
stuff.
Okay, that's
So
another
good.
slow movie that I
Yeah.
can appreciate.
Love that
Right up
movie.
there with 2001. So Ad Astra is not groundbreaking, but it's thought-provoking, and I like that. So for me, it just worked for me, but I get where you're coming from.
You found the purpose of life. Really.
Do you have anything else? I'm gonna do my number 2 worst movie and then my number 1.
Shoot. Yeah, I can't think of any other bad movies I've
Okay.
seen.
So my number 2 is the atrocious dumpster fire. Why was this a good idea? Go kill yourself, jump off a bridge, and take the movie with you. Men in Black International.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Whoa,
It was
yes,
so
yes.
bad I
It was-
That's a good point. That was a very terrible.
When you
Yes.
take
Terrible.
one of the best actors, Chris Hemsworth and what's her face from Ros-
the one that was in Annihilation.
yeah, they're Valkyrie.
Tegan
She's
or-
Valkyrie from Thor Ragnarok.
Tegan or Tiana or something.
I don't know, but they're both really, really amazing. And their chemistry in Thor Ragnarok was like
It was
off
great.
the chain. So
and then
every
this
single
happened.
person in this movie was a dumpster fire of garbage. And I love Kamani Anjal because he's my boy. We both born in Karachi, Pakistan. I can't wait to see you in Eternals, Marvel's Eternals, or whatever, or the what's coming out next year with the date movie where they get. I forgot the name of the movie. It looks really cool. It's about him going on a date with this girl.
Oh, that
And
was.
they kill a guy, but they didn't. It was.
Oh,
and they
yeah,
have to
that
like
was
clean the record.
hilarious.
Oh, so excited!
I love that
that
trailer.
And-
Oh, man.
When you can make him annoying and not good, and make everybody in that movie not likable, like Chris Hemsworth and everybody,
You did
you've
a
got an
terrible
issue.
job. Yeah.
And whoever thought a Men in Black movie without Will Smith was a good idea?
That was terrible.
Go jump off a building. Just threw my paper at the laptop because I can't.
That makes me wonder who's director for that.
I have some dumpster fire director, I'm
Oh,
sure.
man.
I don't know. But yeah, Men in Black International, F you, and F everyone who was part of that movie. Never make another Men in Black without Will Smith again. Shut it down for all I care.
Yeah,
I understand.
It's so bad I already forgot about it.
Yeah, you guys didn't put it on the list. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna say 2 movies that they probably didn't even think about. And of course, My number one movie that I literally cried watching because I wanted it to be so good, and I've seen every one. I mean, oh my gosh. You had Glass. You had um, Glass was
Oh,
so good,
man.
and
What movie are you talking about?
Unbreakable.
Wait,
I
you
mean,
didn't
Glass
like
came out
that
this year.
movie?
Sorry, no, I'm saying Unbreakable was so good. And what was the movie that came out before this? But he's like changing faces.
Oh yeah, that
The
was
prequel to the
not Shattered.
not Glass, but
No, there was
Split?
there was Split. There we go.
Split
Oh my goodness.
was so good. Unbreakable with Bruce Willis is so good. Now you're taking characters from Unbreakable and him from Split. I was so hyped for this movie. I was like, there's no way this movie could be terrible because how good those two are. And
I mean,
sorry, this is not my number one, but it's tied with. I had a hard time deciding. It was, oh my gosh, like it just so bad. I can't believe Bruce Willis died in a puddle because some guy just put his head in a puddle of water and then he died. Like what
yeah,
the
that was
f?
that didn't make any sense.
And like it was just
What movie are you talking about?
Glass.
They did it. Well,
Oh, I
if you
didn't see
recall, though, they did it on purpose. They were trying to kill him.
Well, then kill him in a tank full of water. Not like a 2 inch of water where he just drinks and breathes in water in like a little puddle and then dies. What the crap is this?
No, they stuck his head in a pothole.
It was
Oh.
just in a pothole. Yeah, it was
It
just.
was so bad.
I like almost. I kid you
Well,
not.
they put him. They did try putting him in a tank of water. Remember, he was in the tank.
Okay,
and
but
then
that's
somehow
where
he
you
got
kill
out.
him. If you're first of all, don't kill him because that's retarded. Like we could have gotten a third movie, and the guy who played he's Xavier in Split, and they killed both. Like
They killed
gosh,
everyone.
Samuel L. Jackson.
They killed everyone at the end of that.
Oh my God,
It
I'm still angry.
that was heartbreaking.
I
But
was
at the same time, like
I never
when
wanted to cry while watching a movie, but it was not cry because it's made me sad, but cry because it had two of the
They
best
destroyed it.
movies, and they just completely ruined it, and I couldn't freaking. Okay, so yeah,
At the
Glass.
same time-
F you, M Night
What
Shyamalan.
could be
I was
worse
rooting
than
for
that?
you.
Oh, M. Night Shyamalan.
He
He
was-
ruined Airbender. What were you thinking?
I'm glad he did because now we're getting the great Netflix series, so I'm okay with that.
Oh, man.
Live action Netflix series for Last Airbender.
Yes, that would be amazing.
But he did such a good job with Split and Split was so like you were like M Night Shyamalan is back when you watched Split because it was mind blowingly good. And I loved Unbreakable. I love Sixth Sense. I love Signs. I love The Village. I mean, he's had some he just for 10 years he just went on a streak of bad movies. So when Split came out, I was like, oh, he figured out how to make good movies again. And then there was like a sequel to both Split and Unbreakable. Like this should have been
great.
great. But no, it was just and then that stupid ending where there's this underground organization that doesn't make any sense who've been watching these people who are turning into mutants and learning these powers. It was just so dumb. There was no way the plot made any freaking sense. I hate Glass so much. But nothing was as bad as Us. Us was so bad about these guys. Just my opinion. Did you see it?
Yeah.
I just didn't.
It was weird and creepy. Yes.
Yes, but it didn't make any lick of sense. But Get Out was nominated for Best Picture and won Best Screenplay for Jordan Peele for Get Out because Get Out was
amazing.
I was
That
trying
was
to tell Shannon that
mind-blowing. Oh my gosh,
Get Out was so good. I was so hyped. I saw it opening day actually. And the plot made
had to have been like
no freaking sense.
one of the best movies. I've
Yeah,
ever
Get
seen.
Out is amazing.
Yeah.
But Us made no sense
People loved it.
whatsoever. It's so
yeah,
stupid.
but it doesn't make
The
a whole lot
plot
of
makes
sense.
any sense.
This
About
is very
you have a
strange.
twin that's underground and everybody on Earth has a twin and those twins come up from above the ground but they're like copycats, so when we're doing things here like I'm
They're
talking
doing things
or
down
they're
there.
doing down there but
Yeah.
then they come out and they kill us all and then they take over the world, but they take over the world by holding hands across the world in this giant line across the world. Like
Yeah,
Us was so
What?
stupid.
The way you're describing it's so weird.
Yeah, my
That's literally how it was.
My literally Men in Black International, Glass, and Us could be a tie for me because
Huh.
I hated all three.
The only, I think the only thing was is that like with that movie, I think he was just trying to be abstract, which definitely did a good job of that. That was so abstract,
but made
but
no
it was terrible.
freaking sense. I
loved the horror aspect of it. Like, the horror aspect was good until you found out what the story behind it was, and you're like, what the
until you
hell
get out of the
is
movie and
this?
you're like, what? And I thought I got out of Us and I thought I missed something. So I Googled it and I learned I didn't miss anything. They just have giant plot holes that made no lick of sense. I was even more like, what the crap? How did you win best screenplay and best picture for Get Out and then
Well, I mean, I did think it was cool how everybody had someone just like them trying to go after them.
Great idea, terrible execution.
Exactly.
And that's the reason that's supposed to be disappointing.
Like the
really
skeleton of the story was so messed
like
up.
it's about so the story goes the government, the American government, clones everyone like the lamb was cloned, like took our DNA and they cloned us. And then our clones are kind of like copycats, meaning like if you're dancing, they're dancing. If you're sleeping,
Oh, like Annihilation.
No,
Okay.
it's literally your twin. They took your DNA and made another Shannon, and they trapped them underground, and they did it for every American or every person around the world.
Okay.
And they all are in these deep bunkers underground, in these caves underground of the United States, and the government just left them there. And so they've been living their whole life in these bunkers. 300 million clones of all the Americans, or whatever yet, 350 million Americans right now today, whatever it is, they're all underground. How's that even possible? Does it make sense? No. Not only
collapse. Hello.
Okay, and then they're copying us. So like if I'm eating ice cream or if I'm bowling or if I'm doing
They're
something, they're doing the same thing.
They're going through the action at least, like the motion of it.
And then they decided, hey, we don't want to be this person anymore. We're gonna go up into the top of the world and kill the original. So they kill all the originals.
It all happened with this one girl
who like
at a
carnival, she met her original, and and that girl cut her throat, left the original underground, and now the girl is underground and she's copying her, but that doesn't make any sense. Why is the original not copying her? And the one who's a clone goes back with the family and starts living with
a normal life
because the mom and dad don't realize it's a clone. They just think it's her, but it makes no lick of sense.
No.
Like the more I talk about it, the more I hate this movie.
Yeah,
and then those clones, after 20 years, this girl who is
finally breaks out. The original finally breaks out.
And then she takes everybody who's underground and they just go around and start murdering the originals. And they kill everybody across America. And they kill all the originals. And then what do they do at the end? They just hold hands across the... They all hold hands. And that's how the movie ends.
Yes, makes no sense at all.
So that's my list.
It's a good movie. And it starts off... I love the horror in it. I love the... like some of the originality in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes no sense. So it's like, oh gosh.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Whereas Get Out actually had like a good foundation. It had like a really good basis to it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an amazing movie.
Well, thank you guys for sticking around. This was our list for worst movies of 2019. Check out the Oscars as well. It's premiering Sunday. And we're going to be seeing Birds of Prey this Thursday. Driving through the blizzard to see some Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Can't wait. This is going to be my recovery from one of the worst movies of 2019, Joker. So excited to see it. So look out for that. We'll have that video up Thursday. Thank you again, guys.
And one of the worst movies from 2020. No.
I hope not. I really want Birds of Prey to be good.
Well, yeah, no. But I meant like The Colors of Space or whatever.
Oh, that's definitely gonna make it at I'll be shocked if I didn't put Colors Out of Space for my 2020 list, and if it's not number one, We're
calling it on the 4th day of the year,
or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Take care. Click the link below. Join our Patreon. Click like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your dog. Tell your cats, and
put it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, whatever you got.
Whatever you got. Leave us questions and comments on what you think of our list for 2019 worst movies of 2019. Take care. Bye.